Hi, this is Jen Royle with the Boston Herald, and welcome to another edition of Talk of the Town, sponsored by Aria Trattoria, one of the north end of Boston's greatest Italian restaurants. I am here in an empty Boston Bruins locker room. As you all know, unfortunately, the Bruins were outed in the Stanley Cup playoff against the Montreal Canadiens, and I'm getting ready to talk to the president of the organization, Cam Neely. This is probably one of my favorite interviews, given the fact that I'm born and raised in Boston and grew up watching Cam Neely play. Now in the front office here with the Bruins, we'll talk to him about what he has in store for this Boston Bruins team next season and how he feels about getting outed again by the Montreal Canadiens. Sorry to bring it up again. Cam, I think the last time you gave a public, speech or interview, you talked about the sting of the Stanley Cup playoffs. How do you feel now that some time has been removed?
Well, this thing is gone away a little bit. I mean, until the playoffs are over, I think, and you get into July after the draft, probably is when no one's playing hockey anymore. It makes it a little easier.
Mm-hmm. Someone once told me, actually, one of the former Red Sox managers, that if you take a little bit of time to take the emotion out of things, you start to see things differently. I know it was too early for you to talk about what you saw and what happened and why you lost. Have you been able to sort of nail down some reasons why you guys didn't go further?
Well, from my perspective, I think we got away from how we needed to play to be successful. I think the way that game one played out, where we took some penalties and they capitalized on the power play, I think it probably brought us down a little bit as far as making sure we didn't take penalties, and then maybe altered the way we played because of concerns of their power play. Instead of just saying, let's play our game, and if we get penalties, we'll have to kill it off. So I think after that game, we probably dialed down our own game a little bit, and ultimately it affected the way we could play.
All right. Have you been watching the Stanley Cup Finals?
Yeah, I have. Not full games. I watched one full game so far, but bits and pieces. I check in to see what's going on, but it's been it's been interesting to see, how both conferences got to where they are in the finals. Right.
I want to ask you, I interviewed Derek Sanderson and also Johnny Pye McKenzie this season for the Herald, and I asked them both how the game has changed from their playing days. Derek Sanderson had some choice words for Gary Bettman. He doesn't like overtime. He doesn't like the penalty shot. How has it changed since you've played? If there's one thing you could change about the game today as the president of this organization, what would it be? Not that you have a choice.
Yeah. Well, the game's faster. I think late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s, there was a lot of clutching and grabbing, hooking and holding, especially through the neutral zone. They took the red line out. They started calling those penalties a lot more, which was a good thing, because I think it took away the skill from the skilled players when, someone could just really lock onto you through the neutral zone. So that was a good change. I'm with Derek in a sense. I don't like the shootout. I really don't. It turns a team sport into an individual sport when points are extremely important during the regular season, to make playoffs. That's one thing that I would change. I know, fans get excited about it. You see them stand on their feet when the shootout occurs, but ultimately, I think a lot of fans wouldn't mind it going away, but they're probably they probably could care less either way. I know some of the newer fans probably like it, but I think it like I said, it turns a team sport into an individual sport. I wouldn't mind seeing maybe go to 3-on-3. That's been talked about, because I think you'd see a lot of scoring chances.
Okay. Your wish list for the offseason, let's look ahead, because I'm sure you're already looking ahead. Have you made that wish list? Are you halfway down it? Have you approached it? And is there one area of this team you feel is the number one thing you need to improve?
Well, we just wrapped up our amateur scouting meetings heading into the draft at the end of this month, and we've followed that up with our pro scouting meetings, talk about our team and what our staff feels our team may need to improve on. So I don't want to go into detail what those discussions were about, but ultimately, we've got a good group of players here that are still in their prime for the most part. And I think most of them would probably say they could have played better in that second round, and we got some young players that are going to improve just by more experience and coaching. So there's some areas where we'd like to see if we can improve on this offseason, but we'll see if that can happen.
Okay, so are you sticking to the philosophy that you're just going to tweak things this offseason?
I think so, yeah. I mean, unless something dramatic happens, throughout the course of the draft. But as it stands right now, we're pretty happy with our club. Like I said, we feel like we have a good team that still has a chance to compete. But there's areas where we'd like to improve. Okay,
one job or position on your wish list as an assistant GM. Talk a little bit about Jim Benning and how happy you are for him going to Vancouver.
Well, that's the thing yeah, exactly. When an organization has success, other teams look within your organization, see if they can help their own organization. That's what happened with Jim. He was an integral part of the success of our franchise, and we wish him well in Vancouver. Pete is in the midst of talking to candidates to try and fill that role. It's something that we valued Jim's expertise in evaluating players with, especially the amateurs and on up through the pros. I mean, he's been doing it for so many years. He's seen the development from a 17-year-old all the way to a pro hockey player. So we do wish him well in Vancouver.
Okay, we're going to end on a fun note. Harry and Lloyd are back.
Yes.
Yeah, Jimmy Fallon last night had Jeff Daniels, is that right? Yeah, Jeff Daniels and Jim Carrey on. So we saw the trailer for Dumb and Dumber 2. Is there a cameo? I mean, kick his ass, Seabass. It has to be in there.
Well, it's funny. It wasn't originally, but there was something shot not that long ago that may make the final cut.
Ooh. All right, so you're not giving anything away there.
No, I mean, you could shoot something and it ends up on the cutting room floor. So they actually approached me after the playoffs was done and said, we think we have something that makes sense to put Seabass back in. They were able to do it here in Boston, so we'll see if it makes it.
I'm laughing because I had a friend in college named Seabass. So while I was Googling you and your stats and everything that you do here, amazing work at the Bruins, I love that you have an IMDb page. Is that something that you enjoy?
I don't really think about it, to be honest with you. It's interesting to have one, I guess, but everything I've done in that industry has been I've been asked to do. The one time I actually tried out for something and I didn't get it, I was like, this is way too stressful for me.
More stressful than being the president of the Bruins.
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that, but it made me rethink knocking on doors looking for acting work.
All right. Well, we thank you so much for your time. Good luck this offseason and good luck in the future.
Great. Thank you so much.
All right, so there you have it. Cam Neely could make an appearance in Dumb and Dumber 2, so hopefully we get to see Seabass on the big screen again. This is Jen Royle with the Boston Herald. Thank you for joining us here on Talk of the Town. Log on to bostonherald.com every Thursday to see which Boston athlete or former athlete we'll be highlighting next.